E-girls are what makes the world go round. Some people love them and buy their bathwater, and some people hate them and do some very unhinged things, and some e-girls have very dark backstories. This is part 2 of the Egirl Iceberg, and if you haven't watched part 1 yet, there's going to be a link on the screen right now so you can go watch that. The deeper we go, the darker and more messed up these stories are going to get, so buckle in. And now we go below the tip of the iceberg where the water is frigid and it's starting to get dark. Content warning for traumatic childhoods, occult content, and malicious legal battles that have almost been buried in the sands of time. The first e-girl at this level is none other than SS Sniper Wolf. I'm just gonna call her Leah. Leah started her current YouTube channel back in 2013 and has built up a whopping 32.5 million subscribers during that time. Over the last several years, she has been cranking out content that's specifically made to juice the algorithm and regularly pulls millions of views and gets on the trending page all the time. It's the kind of soulless video that's truly a product, and if an AI took over the 15-minute crafts channel and crafted a model to be the host, this is the exact stuff they would produce. Leah has obviously been extremely successful, but she has a dark past on a different YouTube channel, and many have accused her of some pretty awful things from before she was the face of YouTube's trending page. She wasn't always this family friendly. Before Leah started the Sniper Wolf channel, she had one called Sexy Sniper where she did typical e-girl stuff, spicy cosplays, gaming, stuff like that. She got in a lot of controversy during this time because she would go after other people for their appearance or how much money they had and call other women hoes.
This is why I hate girls. Everyone a hoe. This picture isn't even me. Fake nude pic of me. Again, it's not even me. Why is this hoe in the thumbnail when it's not even me?
Just your typical online troll behavior for the time, except it got attention because she was a gamer girl. Eventually, she got in so much drama that after 2 years of building up this channel to 50,000 subscribers, she decided it was time to start over and rebrand. SS Sniper Wolf was born. At first, the content wasn't that different from the last channel, and she spent a lot of time playing Call of Duty. But as the channel started to grow, Leah started getting in trouble again. She would make fun of girls for posting photoshopped pictures and then post blatantly photoshopped pictures of herself. And then she said she absolutely didn't Photoshop pictures.
I don't Photoshop any of my pics. I don't have time for that. You think I got time to take a selfie, put it on my computer, Photoshop that, send it back to my phone, post it on Instagram? Hell no!
She would regularly criticize other women for getting plastic surgery and then got it herself. Nobody on YouTube or social media would have cared if Leah had just posted photoshopped pics of herself or got a nose job, but since she was attacking other women for doing the same thing, she started to get a lot of backlash for being a hypocrite. One YouTuber who criticized her was called Enigmahood. Enigmahood accused Leah of faking her gameplay and called her out for making fun of her fans, among other things. In response, Leah filed a DMCA takedown complaint against Enigmahood's channel. If you have a YouTube channel and a person or company files one of these complaints against you, you have 2 options. You can either take the hit and keep the strike on your YouTube channel and hope you don't get 2 more, because if you get 3 of these, your channel is deleted, or you can fight back. YouTube tells you that if you dispute the claim, your personal information, including your name and address, will be released to the claimant so they can sue you if they so choose. Enigmahood disputed the claim, and Leah got all of his personal information. Enigmahood later updated his video's description on the matter to explain that she had released the claim after he fought back, and his video was restored. A couple of years went by, and then in August of 2016, Leah made this video with some pretty massive claims about Enigmahood.
A couple of years ago, he re-uploaded one of my videos, and you can't just take somebody else's content and re-upload it and monetize it. So I filed the copyright claim with YouTube trying to take it down. And in the copyright process, I got his real name, and of course I googled his name, and it turns out he is a registered sex offender.
The first claim is verifiably false, as the video that she DMCA claimed is linked in Enigma's description, and it's a standard commentary video and not just a re-upload of a Sniper Wolf video. The second claim that he's a registered sex offender, Leah provides no evidence for in the video and left a comment saying, "He is not going to sue me and has no grounds to do so. I wouldn't lie and make up such an accusation in a malicious manner. I know what it's like to be falsely accused of dumb shit. When I looked him up 2 to 3 years ago, he was on a registered sex offender list and there was other stuff. Now that stuff is removed and you cannot find it. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's possible and very easy to have it removed. I wouldn't lie and just say something like this. That's terrible." And while she had absolutely no evidence for such a weighty claim in a video that got over 3 million views, it was clear she was taking the whole thing very seriously.
If we can get this video to 20,000 likes, I will do another one. So make sure you hit that like button in the face and subscribe, join the wolf pack. Ow!
Enigma repeatedly asked YouTube to take these videos calling him a sex offender down, arguing that they were slanderous, but they didn't take them down. Enigma responded by filing a civil lawsuit against Leah, her management company Fullscreen, YouTube, and Google to get the videos taken down, and asking for monetary compensation, saying her claims made it impossible for him to get hired. He went on the record and said that he absolutely was not and never had been arrested for anything. The lawsuit did end up making its way in front of a judge. While the court did write that Enigma had sufficiently proven that Leah had allegedly defamed him and affected him on YouTube, the lawsuit was dismissed because Enigma's attorneys were unable to prove the third prong, that Leah had intended to harm his reputation, specifically in his home state of New Jersey, which is what the narrow interpretation of defamation required for him to win the judgment he was asking for. Over the next couple of years, Leah continued to get into controversies with other creators, one where she sent flirtatious messages to FaZe Censor while he had a girlfriend. Censor's boss, FaZe Banks, called Leah out, and she said Censor had faked the texts and threatened to sue him. Censor then went to Verizon and had them verify that the messages were real and told Leah to go ahead and sue him, after which she issued an apology. She has accused multiple people of copying her, stealing her content, her thumbnails, you name it. Leah has this weird habit of accusing other people of doing the exact same thing she's doing. In May of 2018, commentary YouTuber Nerd City made a massive video calling her out on this. He went into great detail in Photoshop showing exactly how she was manipulating her photos. He even debunked her claim about having never gotten cosmetic work done on her nose.
Quick side note, so I actually know a plastic surgeon who does nose jobs, and just to be thorough, I sent him a text message and asked, would a septoplasty and a turbinate reduction typically cause the kind of bruising that you see in this photo? And would you normally see a change in the profile of the nose like you do in this before and after picture? And I showed him how Leah's nose has changed over time. And he wrote back, that is definitely a nose job. He did say that anytime you get into the nose, you could end up with bruising in the face. But he also he also suggested by his own idea that looking at those photos, she might have had some work done to her chin. So take it all with a grain of a professional's opinion.
Nerd emphasized that normally nobody would care about any of this or criticize any of it if she hadn't made such a habit of hating on other women for doing the same thing. In late 2021, Leah was accused of promising to video chat with a terminally ill 10-year-old fan and then never showing up. Keemstar made a Twitter video showing how the fan had originally gone on the No Jumper podcast and told the crew her biggest wish was to meet Sniper Wolf. Based on leaked Instagram DMs between Sniper Wolf and the girl's mom, it looked like they were unable to come up with a time that worked for both of them, and after a few days of back and forth, the mom got frustrated and blocked Sniper Wolf. After this started to blow up, Sniper Wolf tweeted that she still intended to send a message.
But Sniper Wolf just kept tweeting and kept tweeting. This entire time she was trying to defend herself. She could have just called the 10-year-old girl and spent 5 minutes on the phone with her.
By this point, Leah figured she could make more money reacting to TikToks and ignoring drama, and she's been doing exactly that ever since. Belle Delphine is definitely the most well-known e-girl of all time. With over 2 million subs on YouTube, almost 2 million followers on Twitter, and making over $1 million a month from the containment site as of last time she talked openly about her income, she's probably one of the richest e-girls of all time. She started out on Instagram in 2018 with cosplays, but started to gain traction when she started doing weird stuff. Belle began sending fans towards her Patreon for some spicier exclusive content and got up to 4,000 people a month sending her money for photos. Then she did her first merch drop in July of 2019, but she wasn't just selling t-shirts or mouse pads. Belle got the attention of the whole internet by selling $30 jars of her Gamer Girl bathwater, which sold out in under 48 hours. This is when Belle really started to blow up on social media. Tons of YouTube videos about her were made, raising her profile to unheard of levels online. She was a mysterious figure who was extremely popular, but also there was next to nothing known about her. She didn't do podcasts, she didn't stream, she just posted weird photos and videos with blood and octopi and other weird props and symbology. Nobody knew who she really was or why she was doing any of this, which made her different from other e-girls. Belle then made a post on Instagram promising if it got 1 million likes, she would make an account on Yellow YouTube and post some content there, which she did end up doing after the photo hit 1 million likes, but the videos she posted were just trolling and not the kind of explicit content her fans were hoping for. Angry people who were mad they didn't get what they wanted mass reported her Instagram, and it got banned when it had 4.5 million followers. Belle took a long break from the internet after this and then returned in 2020 with a music video that went viral and got over 40 million views before it was age restricted by YouTube. To celebrate her return, she started an account on the containment site and then went went on a bunch of podcasts. During this time, Belle got rid of all the mystery surrounding her character. She told the internet everything, and she told Logan Paul something that Belle Simps had been denying the whole time, that she had had a longtime boyfriend the entire time she had been Belle Delphine. She explained how carefully crafted and planned her every move and every post had been, how her arrest she had posted on social media was fake, and more. But she was going on these podcasts for a reason. She was promoting an adult film, which she still had never done. Then on Christmas Day, she dropped the tape. In 8 months back on the internet, Belle had completely destroyed all the mystery around her character. After this, Belle disappeared on the internet again until April of 2022. She's still active to this day and posting, but she's more of a normal containment site girl now. She did a photo shoot with popular YouTuber 2Mad recently that went semi-viral, but it seems like Belle might be in the late stages of this phase of her career. I give it a couple more years max before she's reacting to TikToks on YouTube's trending page. Bella Porch blew up on TikTok in the summer of 2020 and now has over 90 million followers on TikTok and 2 billion likes. She's one of the most popular people on social media in the world, and her story is pretty unique and also very dark. Born in the Philippines in 1997, Bella was raised for a short time by her grandmother, who later gave her up for adoption. Bella never knew her biological parents and lived in poverty for most of her childhood. She was then adopted by a family who owned a farm, and she grew up doing farm chores and going to school. It was not a happy childhood. Her adoptive parents did not treat her well, and she's described stories of being abused and mistreated on podcasts like the H3 podcast. Bella's adoptive family moved to Texas later for her father's medical treatments that he needed. At the age of 20, Bella enrolled in the US Navy and was stationed in Hawaii. She left the military in 2020 when her contract was up. Bella was struggling with depression at the time and had been committed to a psych ward for 5 days. Once out of the military, Bella picked up a new hobby and started posting on TikTok in April. Her initial followers came from doing the tried and true gamer girl strategy. She then evolved and started doing lip syncing videos where she made a bunch of funny faces. One day she lip synced to the song M to the B, and it went so viral that she gained 10 million followers in 2 weeks from this, and people started to become obsessed with her. To this day, this is the most liked video on TikTok ever, with over 58 million likes. After this, Bella started collaborating with famous online and mainstream celebrities. She became the literal face of TikTok and new social media as a whole. At the same time, a lot of people online started hating on her, saying her videos are low effort. In September of 2020, she got in a controversy about her Japanese rising sun tattoo, ended up covering it up after the backlash and apologizing on Twitter. Her career continues to evolve, and in 2021 she started releasing music, which has gotten hundreds of millions of streams. Bella also started posting the music on YouTube and has racked up over 6 million subscribers since May of 2021. So while her life started out extremely difficult and she's faced a lot of backlash just for being successful, she seems able to evolve in a way that few can. And I think pretty soon she'll graduate from e-girl to bona fide mainstream artist. And now we've made it to the deepest and darkest part of the Egirl Iceberg. As you peer out your tiny window at the terrifying sea creatures and plastic Walmart bags floating by, just be aware that things are about to get very messed up. Content warning for domestic abuse and some stalker situations that absolutely made my skin crawl. Nicole Sanchez, aka Nico Lol, absolutely blew up on social media after posting her OK Boomer video in the spring of 2020, reaching over 400,000 followers on Twitch and eventually getting signed by a major gaming organization, 100 Thieves. Nico had been streaming on Twitch since 2017 to a small audience, but the OK Boomer TikTok and tweet went viral after it was posted, and people who saw the meme started coming to watch her Twitch streams. Viewers liked that she did both e-girl stuff and supported Bernie Sanders. After her supporters found out she had a boyfriend, some of them mass flagged her Twitter and she got banned for a day. The tweet with the OK Boomer video also got copyright striked, and there was so much backlash that the original creator of the song had to come out and say that it wasn't them who striked her. Once a massive following started to form around her personality, her clips started making the rounds, with zingers like,
but when someone is talking about guys simping for a girl, I just don't understand what's wrong with like worshiping a girl. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Girls deserve to be worshipped. Not saying specifically me. All right, simping isn't bad. Simping is king shit, okay?
Nico ended up getting into a big controversy when she posted an apartment tour in June of 2021. In the video, she doxed herself, leaving the apartment number visible in frame. She also got a lot of backlash for showing a $2 million apartment off.
The controversy was that since I am a democratic socialist, that I'm not allowed to have anything nice. I got most hate from people calling me like a hypocrite that like don't like this political idea of like democratic socialism.
After the video got dislike bombed, Nico went on Twitch saying, "I could disable the dislikes if I wanted to, but I don't care." And then she disabled the dislikes. But beyond all this petty drama, there was something extremely dark from Nico Love's past that kept bubbling up to the surface, with people commenting occasionally about it under her posts. It was relatively quiet at first, but by March 2021, so many people were referencing it that Nico felt the need to address it directly. Her dark secret was that she had been charged with felony domestic violence for physically assaulting her boyfriend at the time in 2018. Her tweet she released addressing this linked to a Google Doc where she told her side of the story. According to Nico, this was a long-term toxic relationship in which she was regularly manipulated and abused. After they broke up, he was messaging her nonstop and then ghosted her when she agreed to meet and talk things out. So Nico went to his house to confront him about this, and she ended up assaulting him, so he called the police and she spent the night in jail. She went on to say that releasing the Google Doc was a big part of her healing process, and she didn't want to give her abuser power by remaining silent. This tweet got a lot of support from YouTubers and streamers who supported Nico, but not everyone thought this made sense.
Driving to somebody's house to quote unquote confront them, and then she did something to him that was severe enough that he called the cops and she got booked and convicted of corporal abuse, of domestic abuse, of felony domestic abuse. Like, what the f? The crazy part to me is that she went to court on this, she got convicted, so there's a judge that saw all of this, and now she goes to social media where she's got a huge platform to get everybody on her side.
I looked into the state of California public records, and it turns out that during the proceedings, Nicolo's attorneys worked out a deal with the prosecutor that allowed her to get the charge reduced to a misdemeanor if she completed 12 weeks of anger management courses and didn't get arrested for anything else for a year. Since this whole thing blew up, Nico is still streaming to this day and seems to have kept a bit of a lower profile over the last year. Amouranth is a Twitch streamer who is regularly in controversies for pushing the boundaries of the terms of service with lewd content, doing pool and hot tub streams and ASMR, and all kinds of stuff that pulls headlines, viewers, and money. Recently, she did an interview with Vice where she said between the containment site and Twitch, she is pulling in $1.5 million per month. But there's a very dark side to Amouranth's story that has led to her being in personal physical danger on more than one occasion. Amouranth started streaming in 2016 doing cosplays on Twitch. She was already popular online in the cosplay community, and Twitch actually reached out to her and asked her to come stream and grow the category as part of their effort to make the site about more than just gaming. She was criticized by YouTubers and other streamers pretty much from the start for making a career off of showing skin. In 2018, she was streaming at a gym and the employees asked her not to stream. Amouranth lied and said her camera was off, but a viewer had shown the gym employees her stream and they had it pulled up. When she refused to stop streaming, they told her to leave or they would call the police. Amouranth later said she was being kicked out because she was white. In February of 2022, Amouranth decided to expand beyond just Twitch and the containment site and started selling some merch. Jarred farts and hot tub water. Some people did appear to buy these, but the stunt didn't gain as much traction as it could have because Belle Delphine had already done something similar. But selling weird merch wasn't the most memorable part of Amouranth's 2022. In January, she went on Anthony Padilla's podcast and revealed that she had been dealing with a particularly determined and dangerous stalker. This person had been DMing Amouranth for 6 months, writing long messages and acting as if everything she said on stream was directly to him. He called her his girlfriend and said that they were engaged, and then started photoshopping himself in pictures with Amouranth holding her waist. He didn't know where she lived exactly, but he knew her P.O. box was in Houston. One day he messaged Amouranth and said, "I'm in Houston. Is your friend going to pick me up from the airport?" He got a hotel room in the same zip code as her P.O. box and stayed there for 2 weeks, during which time Amouranth did not go outside, fearing for her own safety. This person had traveled from Canada just to try to find her. Eventually he went back and things were seemingly normal for Amouranth for a short time. But then in June, she went public with details on yet another stalker, this one from Estonia. In a terrifying Twitter thread that reads like a psychological horror novel, Amouranth explained that this man came from Estonia and stayed in a hotel with line of sight to her P.O. box and spent 44 days trying to catch her in person, going to check her mail. This person streamed every minute of his hunt for Amouranth, and every time Twitch banned him, he just made a new account. He had sold everything he owned and left his life in Europe to try and find her. The only things he brought with him were a change of clothes and a saxophone. Amouranth worried he might use the saxophone case to carry a more lethal instrument around. During this time, he would even start talking to her in Twitch chat Snapchat while she was live, and then he started posting dancing videos similar to Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs. On Monday, June 13th, his stream was different, and instead of waiting for Amouranth near her P.O. box, he started going towards her house. She called the police non-emergency line, but they didn't show up. He streamed himself outside her home, saying he knew what he was doing was wrong, but that he had to do it. When he started trying to break in, Amouranth called 911. It took police 33 minutes to arrive, but Amouranth had planned for this. She had armed security guards, cameras, and dogs, and said she had paid for all this because she felt like it was the only real option she had. The stalker ended up getting arrested and detained, and most likely will end up getting deported out of the United States. Understandably, Amouranth has said she doesn't want to be an e-girl forever. She said on stream that she wants to be more like Pokemon, who can just play games and her audience still follows her. Amouranth has started the work required to change her image and career path, and she started talking a lot about investing. She's also started a company called Real Work, which is kind of a high-end talent agency for creators. And she's also said she wants to start an anime and cosplay convention. Amouranth obviously has a lot of ambition, hard work, and business smarts, but the hardest thing for her to control going forward is going to be public perception. She built a brand on showing skin, and it's gotta be extremely hard to walk away from 1.5 million a month, even if you don't like doing it anymore. Once you're an e-girl, it is very hard to unbecome an e-girl. The good thing for Amouranth is that in the interviews and podcasts she's done, she's very well spoken and comes off like someone who's grounded in reality despite her extremely unique circumstances. If she can keep doing podcasts and collaborating with other content creators and getting her voice out there, she might just be able to pull off the social media pivot of the century. If you enjoyed this video, I've also made full-length, in-depth videos on Pokimane, Belle Delphine, and Alinity, which are all on screen now, and I bet you'll like them too. And as always, thanks for watching, stay weird internet, see you next time, peace.